Hello, Internet! I'm Elliot the Purple Hair Doofus, and welcome to the conclusion of The Drawing of the Three by Stephen King. Today, we're finishing this book, so I hope you finished it too, because I do not want to ruin anything for you. So the beginning of our section has Roland taking control of the pusher, named Mort. He's kind of going on a rampage throughout the city. It starts with him leaving work and being very rude to a coworker. He gets into a taxi and has an awkward conversation because he doesn't exactly know how to say where he wants to go. And he has to pause and think about it and then say it. And it doesn't come off naturally. It's almost like when someone who doesn't speak English is trying to speak English and he has to run through that filter and say, that. Eventually, though, Roland gets to a gun shop to buy more shells for his gun. But the manager there will not sell him ammunition because the body that he's in does not have a permit to buy said ammunition. Even though he has more than enough money to buy the shells, he just can't because he doesn't have the proper paperwork. So what Roland does is he drops his wallet and kicks it underneath the counter, and then he leaves. And he goes and he meets with cops. The two cops have aspirations of being detectives. And it describes how later one of the cops is seeing the Terminator with his kids, and the Terminator just kind of clicks something in his mind. He says, "Holy crap! That guy that approached me years ago, he was the Terminator!" And then he has a heart attack and dies. It's Stephen King's brand of humor. But anyways, Roland goes to the cops, and he says, "That man stole my wallet." And so the cops go into the store to figure out what's going on, and the manager's like, "I didn't steal that guy's wallet, I don't know what he's talking about." The cops find a hidden weapon, and they find all of this illegal dealing because they have been kind of performing a stakeout on this place because it's known to sell weapons to the mafia. And this is their chance to finally take it down. The two cops bend over to pick up the wallet that he kicked behind the counter, and Roland actually reaches over, in true Three Stooges style, conks their heads together, and they knock out. This, of course, freaks the manager out, and Roland, he holds the manager up. He's like, "Give me everything I want, or I'll shoot you." Back in Roland's world, it's only at the moment where Eddie is hanging and the sun has just gone down. So Roland doesn't have much time, come back, realize what's happened to Eddie, save him. Now that Roland has ammunition, he needs to get medicine for his illness. So he goes to a pharmacy. And in classic Roland style, he holds up a pharmacy. The cops wake up to the call from the pharmacy saying, help us, someone's going to shoot us." Roland gets his Keflex medicine and he pays for it with a golden watch that is probably 100 times more expensive than the medicine itself. And the workers at the pharmacy conspire to never tell a soul about the watch and split the money.
Then Roland kind of takes a backseat and goes into the pusher's head, and he tells the pusher, "Drive this car to where I want to go, or I will pull out your eyeball."
The pusher's like, okay, I'll do it. The pusher gets to the subway where he pushed Odetta onto the tracks, and as soon as he gets there, the cops are there too, and they shoot him, and he thinks that he died. But what actually happened was it hit a Zippo lighter that he had in his pocket, and it instantly put his clothes to flame. Roland takes control, and he starts grabbing on to the ammunition and the medicine, stripping the guy down, taking off the flammable clothes, and shoving the ammunition and medicine into his underwear. And then he starts calling out to Odetta/Detta. He says, "Look at the door. Look at the door. Look at what I'm going to do. Look. This is all for you. Look." Odetta looks through the door and sees the man that pushed her onto the tracks jump in front of the subway as Roland is jumping through the door. When Roland jumps through the door, he actually tumbles down a slope and he gets trapped in this area with Eddie, almost about to be eaten by the lobstrosities. And while he's down there, Odetta/Detta is having a kind of situation. Her two selves are noticing each other and they split into two different people. And they start fighting with each other. And then they realize that they don't need to fight with each other. And they come back and they meld into one again. And this new persona is named Susana. And Susana gets back into her chair, rolls over to where she had Eddie tied up, and Roland is hanging as well, and pulls him back up. Susana is now kind of this badass in a wheelchair, kind of awesome. And then we have the final denouement of the story where all three of them are getting away from the beach and into a grassy area where they can survive on vegetation. And it's kind of reminiscent of the Lion King montage where Mufasa and I think that's his name, where the little cub lion is with Timon and Pumbaa, and they're showing him grow up with Timon and Pumbaa. I'm just kind of like, this is such a montage ending. All it needs is a freeze frame. You know, to complete the entire thing. But it pretty much ends with the book telling us that even though Roland likes these people, he will sacrifice them in a second to get to the tower. He won't let anything stand in his way to get to his objective. It's pretty much where the book ends. I read the little afterword that told me what the next 2 books are about. I'm not looking forward to book 4, but I think I'll have to get through it if I want to get to book 5. Don't have a question for you because this is the end of the book. The question that I had yesterday was, when was a time that you felt completely helpless? Honestly, I feel like that a lot. So pinpointing just one moment, very difficult for me. I guess the closest thing I've ever been to being truly helpless is when I was evicted because I couldn't pay my bills and everything that I had owned was thrown into an alley and I lost it all. That was truly a helpless moment for me. Do not forget that the next book that I'll be reading/finishing is Soccer Blue by Christopher Moore. Go out and grab it by any legal means necessary. Borrow it from a friend, borrow it from a library, buy it at a bookstore, buy it on a Kindle. I don't care what you do as long as it's legal and you read it before I ruin it for you. I've been Alec the Purple Ear Divus reminding you to watch your pajamas, and I will see you all in my spoiler-free review of The Drawing of the Three by Stephen King. Toodles!